Graffiti to me is a very, very complicated issue, and I don't know where to begin with it.
Graffiti is like all American. I mean, it's about fame and about being popular.
It's something that can't be tamed. It's wild and it's free in the very essence of the word freedom.
Graffiti is Americana.
I was born with the talent, I guess. My mom's been an artist and everyone, so it was naturally in me to draw and just be creative. And being creative wasn't enough for me. I wanted to get into some trouble. I wanted to see some action. I wanted to express myself, but not in such a boring way, I guess. I don't know. I told my teacher when I was a little kid, she asked me what I wanted to be when I grew up. I told her I wanted to be a terrorist or an artist, so something like that.
A lot of time it's telling people what the state of, what the situation is going on in their town or whatever. I mean, I always say that, you want to find out about a city, read the writing on the walls.
That's why it's so intriguing. The people are very eclectic and they're very different, but they have this one thing uniting them, and that is the art form, graffiti. This form of rebellion, this form of reaching out, speaking out. But as far as identifying the people, you can't do it. And that's why it's so intriguing. That's why it's such a question. And that's why it's such a big deal in society right now.
We groove off each other's vibes, I see it a lot like jazz. Like when different musicians come together, Dizzy Gillespie or John Coltrane playing with Miles Davis, they feed off each other in a certain type of communication that outsiders can't really understand. Fans of jazz can understand jazz to a certain extent, but never as deep as the artists who are communicating with each other through that form of sound. I think in the same way, graffiti is like that. Graffiti is very communal. Graffiti is very interactive, and artists feed off each other's work.
The opera was kind of brought to my attention just about it was about maybe two weeks ago, and I got the script and everything, and we talked to the guy, Peter Sellers. We had a meeting with them and discussed the subject matter and everything, and what we'd be, what some of the ideas that we might, want to work on and everything. And he pretty much gave us a freedom to interpret, what we wanted to about Los Angeles, which, was very helpful, and he just didn't. I've worked other jobs for people, and they were like, they wanted to hire me, because of what I did, but it was like, once they hired me, they wanted to tell me how to do what I do, and it didn't, it doesn't really work out. They don't get a really good piece of artwork, then they get something that's half theirs and half mine, or a little bit mine and mostly theirs.
Two pieces, which is done in the old school, mostly black and white, The first piece is where I wanted to show how graffiti can speak for a person, where I wrote a poem that a friend of mine who's in jail right now sent me. And he's in jail for 5 years, and he's writing about his lament of being sorry about going to jail and what it feels like in there. And I was so moved that in a lot of ways that this could be spoken in graffiti. It could be spoken in the language that he was raised in, what we were raised, a language that fits that kind of sorriness or that type of lament, that type of languaging. So I did a painting writing his poem with a dark shadow cast across it, means that he's still in jail, with his incarceration numbers embedded in the concrete of it, and also the word word, W-O-R-D, which in hip-hop today means truth. So that was truth.
Going bombing it's kind of like, it's kind of adventurous, I guess, it's like you're going on a mission, like to get spots and getting away with it, and like sometimes you'll be climbing stuff, it's like, whoa, if I fall, I'll die, and but it gives you a rush, it feels good.